after picture, you can see the athletes lined up for the next event on the track. It is the men's 100 metres. A good mix of age and experience in this, a brace of 21-year-olds and 4 men over 30. And the fastest 2 men in the world this year go here. This is Jeff Arus of France, your silver medalist in the European Junior Championships 100 back in 2021. His best of 9.98 came last year. He's never broken 21 for 200. He's a big fella, 6'2". Kyrie King, semi-finalist at the World Championships 200 back in 2017, struggles to get into US teams. 5 times he's broken 10 seconds, but only 6th in the Doha 200 last Saturday. He goes in 2. There's Ferdinand Omanyala, Commonwealth champion in Birmingham 3 years ago, remember. Bubbly character, Omanyala, from Kenya. Very fast starter. Been in mixed form, though. 2nd in China and then 9th in China earlier on last month. Fred Kerley, one of those few athletes who's broken 10 seconds for 100, 20 seconds for 200 and 44 for 400. He won here back in 2023, and that 9.94 is still the meeting record. He's the Olympic bronze medalist from last year. There's Simbine, the fastest man in the world this year. 4th in the Olympic Games last year, the South African. He was bronze medalist at the World Indoors in Nanjing back in March. I call him the nearly man. He's had so many performances where he's finished 4th and 5th in major championships. Letsile Tebogo, the Olympic 200-meter champion. He holds the national records and, in fact, the African record for 100 and 200. But hasn't been under 10 seconds yet this year, the former footballer. He goes in 6th, the Botswanan. Emmanuel Aseme of Cameroon, All-Africa Games champion last year. And only 3 times under 10 seconds, a couple of times in 23, once last year. Hasn't broken 10 seconds yet this year, Aseme. He's in 7. Brandon Hicklin, the world number 2, goes in lane 8, the American. Ran leg 4 for the USA at the World Relays 2 weeks ago when they took the silver medal in the 4x100. And 5th in Grand Slam track in Miramar a couple of weeks back over 100 and 200. That was 3 weeks ago, actually. And then Sean Maswanganyi of South Africa completes the lineup in lane 9. Only 7th in Doha over 220.7 last Saturday. But I think he's got big potential at 200. Coached by Carl Lewis, by the way. Maswanganyi there, nearest the camera to write a picture. Plenty of dignitaries in this packed-out stadium. I've never seen it so full here. All my years coming to this meeting. Simbine, by the way, in fabulous areas. Simbine goes in lane 5 in the all-red. He won both Diamond League 100 so far this year at the 2 Chinese meeting. He's in fabulous form, the fastest man in the world this season, Simbine, with 9.90. His lifetime best, 9.82, came at the Paris Games last year when he just missed out on the medals. He was 4th in Paris, 4th in Tokyo Games, and back in 2016, in Rio. That's why I call him the nearly man, and there's been several other 4ths and 5ths. But watch this: Omanyala in 3, Kerley in 4, Simbine in 5, Tebogo, the Olympic champion at 200, in 6, 4th from left. I thought there was a little twitch there from but he gets away with it, going really well. Omanyala at the moment. Omanyala 3rd from the top, easing away. Simbine 2 looking strong through the second half. Simbine the strongest. Omanyala 2nd, and between them, Fred Kerley 9.95, and with a very slight following wind. That is great running, very, very crisp running indeed. Some 14 men have broken 10 seconds this year, and Omanyala, well, he led the first half, probably led through to about 60, but I think it was Simbine who came through to take that.
Yeah, very good. He's been in great form, hasn't he? Continuing it, as you said, Tim, and you know, it's just always a question of whether he takes it through. And I mean, world champs for everybody, long way away in September, but right now he is beating everybody else. Omanyala 100% right. You got a great start. Fred Kerley got left. Tebogo looked a little bit lethargic for me, and just adds to what I didn't think was a great run necessarily in Doha. This 200 his best event, obviously, but he's normally better than this. Just doesn't look sharp at all, Tebogo. So this point, though, Simbine has just got that momentum. Kerley comes back into it over the last 20 meters, but Simbine, the more all-rounded sprinter at the minute, just gets up to good speed fairly quickly, maybe not out of the blocks as quick as Omanyala. We know how fast he is over that first 20-25 meters, but never manages to quite maintain in the same way that his African counterpart did. So South Africa cheering on Simbine, I'm sure. 9.95, just 100th outside the meeting record.
Yeah, but winning by a tenth of a second, that's a good meter at the standard. These fellas.
The men's 100 meters at the Rabat Diamond League proved to be one of the standout races of the season so far, bringing together a fascinating mix of youth, experience, and raw speed. The lineup featured some of the biggest names in global sprinting, including Olympic and World Championship medalists, as well as rising stars eager to prove themselves on the international stage. Among the athletes was France's Jeff Arus, a former European junior silver medalist who clocked a lifetime best of 9.98 last year. The American Kyrie King, known for his struggles to break into the highly competitive U.S. team, also took his place on the line, while Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala, the Commonwealth Games champion and one of the fastest starters in the world, carried the hopes of East Africa. The star-studded field also featured Fred Kerley, the versatile American sprinter who has gone under 10 seconds for the 100, 20 for the 200, and 44 for the 400 meters, a rare achievement that highlights his remarkable range. The spotlight, however, was on South Africa's Akani Simbine, the fastest man in the world this season and a perennial finalist in major championships. Nicknamed the Nearly Man for his frustrating streak of 4th and 5th place finishes at Olympic and World events, Simbine arrived in Rabat determined to prove that 2025 could finally be his breakthrough year. Alongside him stood the young Botswana star Letsile Tebogo, the reigning Olympic 200-meter champion, and Cameroonian sprinter Emmanuel Sim, last year's All-Africa Games winner. The lineup was completed by Brandon Hicklin of the United States and South Africa's Shaun Maswanganyi, a talented sprinter coached by the legendary Carl Lewis. As the athletes settled into the blocks, anticipation filled the packed stadium. Omanyala burst out with his trademark explosive start, immediately surging ahead in the opening 40 meters. Tebogo and Kerley tried to respond, but it was Simbine who held his form beautifully, staying relaxed while gradually reeling in his Kenyan rival. By the halfway mark, the South African looked in complete control, his smooth stride carrying him past Omanyala. Simbine powered through the final meters to secure victory in 9.95 seconds, just 100th of a second outside the meeting record he has long targeted. Omanyala finished second in 10.05, while Kerley closed strongly for third in 10.07. Sim took fourth in 10.10, narrowly edging Brandon Hicklin, who clocked 10.11. Behind them, Maswanganyi placed sixth, Arus seventh, King eighth, and Tebogo, looking unusually off his rhythm, slowed down in the final stretch to finish ninth with 10.43 seconds. After the race, Simbine expressed his satisfaction. "I feel great, I feel confident. I'm happy to take the win today and to finish the month strong and healthy. Another sub, 10, and I'm going lower and lower. Now, it's about getting back to training in Italy and preparing for the World Championships." His performance in Rabat marked his third career Diamond League 100-meter victory, solidifying his reputation as one of the most consistent sprinters of the modern era. For South African fans, this victory carried extra significance. Simbine has long been on the cusp of greatness, and his form suggests he could be a major contender at the upcoming World Championships. For others in the field, the race provided lessons and motivation. Omanyala confirmed his explosiveness but struggled to hold his top speed, while Kerley showed signs that he is rediscovering form. Tebogo's disappointing, showing raised questions about his current fitness, though his focus may remain on the longer sprints. With so many athletes capable of dipping under the 10-second barrier, the men's 100 meters promises fierce competition in the months ahead. Simbine's win in Rabat was not just a statement, but also a reminder that consistency and composure often make the difference in sprinting's most prestigious event.